Now the latest breaking news on the investigation. A government source tells CNN that Dzhokhar Tsarnaev claims no foreign terrorist groups were involved in the incident. He says he and his brother Tamerlan was the mastermind. More on that in a moment. Tsarnaev's initial court appearance was today in his hospital room. He was able to speak one word, no, when asked if he could afford an attorney. He now has a public defender. The court found today. He's alert, mentally competent and lucid. Joining me now is CNN's Jake Tapper, who's live for us in Boston. Jake, some pretty dramatic developments late in the day here from what we now believe Dzhokhar Tsarnaev may have told the investigators in written answers. Is that right?
That's right. A U.S. government official tells me that according to these preliminary interviews with Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, and the U.S. government is going to have to double back and check all of this information, but according to these preliminary interviews, what Dzhokhar Tsarnaev is conveying to investigators is the following. One, that there were not foreign terrorist groups involved in this terrorist plot. That it was just the two of them. Two, that there was a real online component to this radicalization done through videos, watching videos, not through communicating an email with anyone abroad, but by watching those videos. That the older brother, Tamerlan Tsarnaev, was the driving force. Of course, you would expect Dzhokhar to say that, and we've also heard anecdotal accounts from relatives that was their relationship. But that is what Dzhokhar is saying in these preliminary interviews. According to this government official, these two seem to be the kind of self-starter, self-radicalized jihadis. According to these interviews, Tamerlan seems to be motivated. He seems to have been motivated by the traditional jihadist view of the relationship between Islam and the United States. The idea that they view Islam as under attack and that jihadis need to fight back. The religious and political motivation behind a traditional jihadi, the standard motivation, as this government official put it. And that is so far in this preliminary series of interviews with Dzhokhar, what he is conveying to them in their communications in his debilitated state.
And Jake, despite that debilitated state, he has been adjudged to be sound of mind and perfectly competent in terms of his ability to answer the questions, which is clearly not what we feared may be the case even yesterday, when he was supposed to have shot himself through the neck and throat and so on and may not be able to talk. Clearly he can communicate, and in a lucid manner. That is highly significant.
It is significant, and if you read the transcript, he's quoted in the transcript, as you pointed out in the introduction, that he says no at one point, although most of the communication is done by nodding his head. We've also been told that he's been writing some of his answers as well. His health obviously has been of serious concern. He's been in serious condition, but he is able to communicate. He is talking to investigators, or has talked to investigators, and so far, according to this government official, there has been some serious information that he has been able to offer.